Willie D Live.
What's up, family? There's some tension between Judge Greg Mathis and Judge Joe Brown. Allegedly, Judge Joe Brown made some disparaging comments about Judge Mathis's wife when referencing former Vice President Kamala Harris. Allegedly, the judge called Kamala Harris a hoe, and he extended that title to Judge Greg Mathis's wife. He said, I don't know if she's a hoe, but if she take money or this or that and third or whatever, then she probably is, or something along those lines. This is according to Greg Mathis, how he got back to him. So Judge Greg Mathis responded by calling Judge Joe Brown a lame. He said that gangsters don't fight with lames. I believe that's the word he used, fight. He talked about, how Judge Joe Brown is probably suffering from the early stages of dementia. And he said some other things, family. All of that ain't really necessary. I just wanted to give you enough context so that you could follow the story. I've had the honor of meeting both judges, Joe Brown and Greg Mathis. And while both men clearly have distinct ways in how they move around in the world, they have more in common than not. I'm not here to address the mess. I'm here to give you some game, fam. Whenever you have two accomplished black men who built their reputations on accountability, taking shots at each other publicly, it says something about ego, legacy, and leadership in our community. I've had my disagreements in this business, but one thing I learned early on, if you can't settle it off camera, you better have a purpose for putting it on camera. We don't have to agree with everything. We don't have to agree to everything. But we do need to have an understanding of the bigger picture because our kids are watching. Our contemporaries are watching. Our supporters are watching. Our loved ones are watching. The world is watching. Judge Joe Brown and Judge Greg Mathis are two of our most prominent, influential figures in our community, and we cannot afford to lose either one of them. We cannot afford to pull support from either one of them. I know some of y'all have heard certain comments that one or the other may have said, but we don't have to agree with everything, fam. We just don't have to agree with everything somebody says in order to support them. A lot of times in our community, we feel like if the person ain't saying everything that we agree to, you can't rock with them. I mean, I've made videos myself where people have watched literally a couple of thousand of my videos and they were riding. And the one time I said something they didn't like, they unsubscribed. And you know how I feel about those who get mad because I said something they didn't like, just one thing or two they didn't like and they unsubscribe, kick rocks, barefooted, and a concrete plant after dark. You did? But getting back on topic, I really hate to see this from these two guys because again, we came to know them and have a great deal of respect for both of them for the way they carried themselves in the courtroom. They built their reputations on accountability. So, without getting into all of the nuances and all of the details, look, we just got to do better when it comes to that. Now, I get it, fam. some people, what can you do? Some people ain't even worth having a conversation about. But I do believe that these two guys are. You know, it's a lot of guys out there just bumping, and they don't do nothing for the community. They don't give to charities. They don't have a charity. All they do is kick up dust every day, all day, looking to spew negativity. That's all they do. So they don't count. I'm talking about the ones who have put in work and who are putting in work. The ones who are still useful to the community. I'm talking about those who have the respect of the people for the work that they've put in. I'm talking about those. Yeah, we can't afford any more enemies. We can't afford any more enemies. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.